everyone set up here. I guess I should say something here, so this is going to go into our archive. This is a boredom thing, basically. Normally, Evan and I would have streamed today, but California issued the shelter order Wednesday night, Thursday night. So we're not supposed to be leaving our homes, for anything that is not essential. And we talked about it, and we decided that streaming was probably a non-essential thing. So, I've been doing my thing, but I got bored, and I felt like playing Final Fantasy VI, this specific version on Steam that I haven't actually touched very much because of how horrible it looks. We figured out what the hell. I will stream it just in case anyone decides to drop by and hang with me. I really, really hate these sprites. This probably doesn't look so bad if you didn't grow up playing, the original game, which is delightfully charming in spite of limitations. I think it actually looks quite good, given what we were used to back in the back in the 90s. But these sprites are fucking. Oh god, it's got this. It's got this like mobile game interface. Position is already in remember. Good. Yeah. I maintain that this is the best opening for any Final Fantasy game, solely on the fact that you get to power the giant robot. Well, not giant, but a rather large suit, mechanical suit. It's a fun novelty. Shame it isn't used more in the game. You get like one more real opportunity to use it, and then there's like a dream sequence at one point. Jesus. I can't get used to the slowly creeping menus at the bottom. I don't know. I mean, okay, I get it. I get the idea. On a mobile game... Oh, hey there, Bowden. Just rambling to myself. Yeah, we're under lockdown over here. I mean, not complete lockdown. The snipers sitting on my roof have assured me that, I can leave the house for important reasons. But yeah, we don't... we didn't think that streaming was going to be worth, leaving the house and exposing Evan to contagions and whatnot, so I'm here all by myself. Oh, there we go. That's... So yeah, unfortunately, this is just going to be me tonight, unless Evan feels like dropping by of his own volition. So the commentary quality is going to be significantly lower than usual. It's probably just going to be me bitching about how much I really hate these mild differences to what's probably still a really great game. The sprite work is just unnaturally smooth. It lacks the grit that the original sprites had. I don't know if that's a good way to call it, but it's just something very bland and RPG Maker-y. No, I don't want to road sequence. Let's run a test game. I don't know why I just got a combat tutorial. Like, multiple fights into the game. I wouldn't say nature versus technology. I mean, not so broadly. I mean, the bad guys do use technology heavily. Yeah. This, I mean, as far as I can tell, this is the mobile port. This is the Steam version, and that's the only one that's on Steam. I haven't played the mobile port, but I mean, it's pretty obvious from the design that this was, you know, this was built to work with your fingers, not with the civilized controller that real gamers will use. So yeah, that's. I don't know why they couldn't have, you know, at least added a simple, you know, like traditional menu for the combat, because this thing at the bottom where everyone creeps upwards slowly, it drives me nuts. I can't stand this shit. Like, I want my bar. I just want my little white bar that fills up and goes ding. That's all I want. Like, I'll play new Final Fantasies and new RPGs, you know, if I want to be challenged in my beliefs. Oh, Defender's just on the menu now. But yeah, so in 6, the bad guys make heavy use of technology. So that is definitely something that is characteristic of them. But I mean, the good guys aren't exactly like, you know, aren't exactly hippies. They just want to stop the bad guys from being bad, not from using technology. One of the heroes, Edgar, actually is a machinist himself, and he's got a castle that can drill underground. So, you know, the good guys are not opposed to technology. Exit the dungeon? I'm not familiar with that. Is that another game? This is the, incidentally, this is the standard, or what was the standard Final Fantasy boss for a while, where they have a gimmick and you're not supposed to attack them while that gimmick is on, or you get counterattacked now. Oh, well. It's okay, we're good. Nobody says anything to Justin. He never gets to hear about this. Ah, shit, he shot the shell. No! Never fine. Ah, they fucked with the targeting system. It drives me nuts. You've got to push up and down now to change targets. Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, I actually that just went on Steam sale like earlier this week. I didn't realize it was a mobile game. I took a look at it. I mean, I couldn't tell from the screenshots, but I saw that they had. It looked like they converted it into like a 2D kind of deal, and I mean that's already a pretty big change from Enter the Gungeon. Hey there, crows. So California issued the shelter order a couple days ago, which, you know, we're only supposed to leave our homes for you know, essential reasons. And Evan and I talked it over, and we decided that, you know, streaming was not an essential reason. I mean, I just think that shows his lack of commitment to you guys. But I mean, that's just me. I'm not trying to shit on the quitter, you know. It's Evan's decision if he wants to be a pussy. That's just my 2 cents. No, I'm kidding. I wasn't going to stream at all, but I got kind of bored, and I had this ugly Final Fantasy VI, thing sitting in my Steam library for a while, and since I'm on partial unemployment now, with drastically reduced hours, so I'm gonna, be productive in quotes, and spend some time. Oh well. All right then. See ya, Kyra. Thanks for dropping by. It's cool. You don't want to hear the story. Are you taking shots at GameStop because of the announcement today, Button? The one that they're shifting to digital. I think Blockbuster ended up doing that too, right? I think Blockbuster still exists as a like digital distributor, not to the same not with the same presence they used to in the pre-Netflix world, but yeah, I think they're still around. So I guess that's a precedent for GameStop to exist. You always check the clocks in this game for elixirs, because for some reason that's a thing. And it looks like they give you a little exclamation point to clue you in on that now. I don't know why. We nap. Later on you can nap in that bedroom. No, I get you. I get your point. No, I absolutely support the quarantining. You gotta people can't be trusted to to care about the well-beings of the rest of everyone else. When at the expense of their own enjoyment of things. I got really pissed off on my last day of work. Yesterday. Wow, I'm already forgetting. Because one of our clients, who I already hate, he arranged a meeting at our office. And I was really pissed off because we've been subsisting this whole week without having any outsiders come into the office. Just the people who work there, no customers or anything. So as to minimize the chances of any of us getting infected. And then my boss just lets this asshole come in to have a business meeting, and I mean, this guy has the money and clout apparently he has the money and clout to get himself tested. That was the condition for the business meeting. He had to be able to prove to the people he was meeting with that he was not infected, which rich people must be nice, but yeah, we had a bunch of unknowns in the office, which that pisses me off. So yeah, no, I'm fully in favor of the of having everybody stay home. Doesn't affect my life too much. I tend to chill around the house on the weekends anyway, and at least now during the week I get to sleep in a little bit later, so that's always fun. But yeah, I was missing the fact that we weren't going to get to stream tonight. Oops. Why would they let you... Why would they make that the default option to go right back to the title screen after the save? That's just silly. Well, that bites. Final Fantasy VI is kind of unique among Final Fantasy games because you will only ever use the fight command pretty much during this part of the game. I've got to keep I've got to keep approving your messages because YouTube doesn't like your cursing button. Oh wow, really? It took a flight and infected the plane and got into a disco and a wedding. Holy shit. That sounds like a GTA mission. or like a Saints Row kind of thing. Where like you're intentionally trying to infect as many people as humanly possible. You know, just to be an asshole. Like, that's terrible. Now when you say crash his Mustang and shit in the middle of the highway, are you saying he literally shat in the middle of the highway? Oh, I don't care about your potty mouth. I'm just letting you know that if there's a delay in your messages popping up, that's because YouTube is making me, personally approve all your curse word laden messages. That's all. No big deal on my end now. But yeah, do you mean and shit as in he crashed his Mustang and caused issues with the crashing, or did he actually poop the highway? The last one is a lot more amusing. I cannot get used to this new Kefka sprite. He did not have that thing in his hair so readily visible before, and that's going to be bothering me, I think. Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, that's terrible. That he caused a perfectly preventable accident, and yeah, I haven't seen any instances of it around here, thankfully, but I imagine that police and ambulances and whatnot are probably strained right now as it is. So yeah, we don't need douchebags causing more accidents that didn't need to happen. That's just stupid. Of course, I guess it's... Oh, well, you said he went on to party. I thought you said he went to a party, and I was going to criticize whoever was holding the party. But I guess you just mean he just went off to, drink and have fun and shit. And now I have used shit, and that makes it sound like he literally might have taken a shit. So that's how easily you can you can make that happen. Something about the way they had Locke puff out his chest like that makes it look like he's got a beer belly, and that's hilarious. Sprites are so weird. I can't get used to it. I'm just gonna be thinking about that the entire time I see this. He looks like Hank Hill. Oh, what? They let them go? That's awful. They're just gonna go and infect more people. Those people need to be locked up. Not in, prison, but, I mean, they need to, have, an ankle bracelet or something. Oh, well, that's why, yeah. Yeah, rich people get away with all that shit, unfortunately. There's the breaks. Yeah. It's a shitty arrangement. And it's only being exacerbated now, because, yeah, now the rich people are the only ones who can afford to effectively deal with this crisis. The rest of us are just getting by. Thankfully, nobody I know, to my knowledge, has gotten infected. Me and my family have done a pretty good job of holding up. And not interacting with people. My parents were actually begging me not to meet Evan today. Because they wanted it. I mean, he's doing a good job of pulling up too, from what it sounds like, but still. Yeah, they are very uncanny sprites, and that annoys me. Oh, they changed the button for it. So the thing you do is yeah, they didn't change this. Mog is the only person you can alter the equipment for, so you unequip him, so later on you can, later on you can take that and give it to other people who will not need it in your party. Yeah, it's weird because it looks like they did these sprites sort of along the same, sort of using the same principles as the original game, which was you make a base sprite and you just sort of alter the details to change who you would apply it to. But here, something about the way they did these sprites, like they just don't have the universality that the old sprites had, and you get weird details like Locke's like beer belly. It's very strange. Oh, you worked at the airport. That sucks, man. I'm sorry to hear you. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry to hear you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that you got fired. That really blows. Yeah, my boss was. My boss has run out of operating expenses because all the courts are closed down right now, and since the courts are closed down, we can't get a whole lot done, with our cases, and clients knowing that, don't want to pay us money that we're owed because they don't feel like we're doing enough for them. You were able to get yourself tested? I thought hospitals had like a strict thing where you could only get the test if you could prove you had come into contact with somebody or something like that. Yeah, it definitely is washed and upscaled, which is weird because the original game has. I'm not familiar with the terms. The original game has sort of a gritty kind of quality to the sprites. It's a lot darker, palette-wise than other Final Fantasy games from the era. So it is weird to see everything so bright and weird looking. Oh, I see. You went somewhere else. Okay, that makes sense. No wonder. That sucks, man. I'm sorry to hear it. Yeah, thankfully I'm not fired per se, but yeah, my boss had to cut our hours severely, and I'm going to be working at home. So I'm on a severely reduced schedule, but he's assured me that he only did it that way because that allows us to qualify for partial unemployment. I guess that's a thing now. Wait, really? They let you take the test and just fuck off? That seems counterintuitive. Although, I mean, how long does it take for the test to actually go through? Because, I mean, I guess they don't want to be, detaining people, at the hospital if it takes, more than a while. I haven't been tested myself, so I'm not familiar with how this works out. Oh, that's weird. You can walk diagonally. It's actually kind of neat. The wonders of technology. Oh, and I didn't notice, but there's this weird hint thing at the top. Can I turn that off? I know how to play this game. Ah, well, there's a sprite that's not bad. I actually like Terra's casting sprite in this one. That's nifty. Turn off. Can't turn off the hints. Great. That's funsies. So I'll just have that ice on top of my screen for the whole playthrough. Pushing buttons. Nope, it's just there. Oh, cool. I can turn it off. Awesome. Whoa. I don't know why the whole floor vibrates like that in this room. It's really weird. Oh, it takes 3 days. Okay. So, I mean, yeah, I guess it makes sense then that they can't exactly, like, detain you there. Let's see. Fire blaster. Yeah, that's good. It's always better for zombies. So you guys at the airport were... Okay, so you guys at the airport were required to take the test or something? I get you. I get you, okay. It's free, but only when you have the symptoms. I mean... Of course, I think I read that the symptoms are also very reminiscent of the flu, and so... doctors are being encouraged to do like a flu test first, just to make sure you don't have, run-of-the-mill regular ass flu. Save those testing kits. Oh, they don't actually do the test. I mean, that makes sense. Hey, why waste the resources if the person presumably has the stuff? So I'm presuming you didn't test positive, right? Is the part where you gotta go and find the story. Ah, I get you. I mean, yeah, if you're living with your grandma, then yeah, you definitely want to make sure you don't have it. Old people are the most susceptible. I didn't even say that. Everybody knows that, but just filming her say something about it. Yeah, my boss, he apparently lives with his elderly dad, and he was telling me that his dad's very upset because he hasn't been able to see his grandkids in like a week, but they can't risk it. Well, good to hear you're clean. As far as I know, I'm clean too. I haven't gotten the test because money and resources, but I don't feel sick. And I've been doing a good job of not interacting with people who, I can't be certain are uninfected. It also helps that my mom found like a treasure trove of hand sanitizer bottles that she's been storing. She's the president for a charity group, and she gets a lot of gift bags, so I'm assuming she's just been pulling them out of there. Out of like the gift bags and stuff she gets and putting them aside, and then forgot about them. So she gave me a bunch, and my sisters, and so we're all actually drowning in sanitizer, which is kind of nice. Although now that I've said that, literally drowning in sanitizer probably wouldn't be very fun. Yeah, Evan tells me that his mom has been on like high alert. Yeah, free samples. I mean, you get those gift bags and they come with like Bath and Body Works stuff and and soap and whatever. She gets those because she goes to like fundraiser functions and whatnot. So I'm surprised she was actually putting them aside. She had a like literal like box just full of nothing but various kinds of hand sanitizer. I've got like 3 different bottles just sitting on my desk right now, completely different brands. So yeah, that's good for us. Also helps that my office has 2 attorneys who work there. There's the one I work for, who also owns the building, and there's another one who works there with her own practice. And apparently she's been going around and like detoxing the whole office, decontaminating the whole office, like since the day that Corona like was announced, like a month ago, 2 months ago or whatever. And ever since then, she stocked up on like Lysol and whatnot, and she's been going around and cleaning the whole office whenever she had a chance. So that also helps. That also helps a lot. You have neck pillows. Did you liberate those on your way out? Not gonna lie, I found myself with some extra toilet paper when I was leaving when I left the office yesterday. I have no idea how that happened. It must have been a terrible mix-up. I feel bad, but I mean I can't go back if I'm on if I'm on partial unemployment. That just doesn't seem right. Oh, okay, I see. I mean, those neck pillows are like cheap pieces of shit anyway. Like, I'm sure the airport has zillions of them. So that's cool. You can build a little like neck pillow fort or something. Oh wait, I think I gotta go to the other room now. I can turn the hints back on, but I'm too proud for that. There we go, yeah. These are the only points in the game where there's a very specific walk around and activate all the flags kind of sequence that you normally get in RPGs. Hollow 6 is thankfully very free of that kind of thing. I remember getting stuck here when I was a kid because I couldn't figure out the right order to talk to people. Oh, you got the good ones. Nice. You should take advantage of all those pillows and just go and take naps in like precarious places. People just leave that shit behind? God, that's so wasteful. I mean, those people presumably bought the things, right? So it just seems weird to... You can wear it, right? Just wear it when you're leaving the plane. Like, who cares if you look like a dork? Like, that's money you spent on a pillow. And they presumably have uses. I think you could say that Final Fantasy VIII is the worst Final Fantasy in a lot of respects. No, that's mean. Because 8's not nearly as bad in a post-13 world. But yeah, I really do hate games where you have to go and talk to like exactly the right group, the right, people to move on. But yeah, thankfully from this point on, 6 is mostly objective-based. You go to a place and you do a thing, and then you go to another place and you do a thing. There's very little in the way of going around and talking to exactly the right people. Fuck, $30 for a neck pillow? Jesus. Why would you just leave $30 behind? That's awful. I mean, I'm frugal to an annoying extent, but goddamn, that pisses me off. Oh, they're inflatable. I can't decide if that's a good or if that's better or worse. Because I was thinking the ones where it's just like a pillow full of like padding or little like beans or whatever. That's what I was thinking of. I wasn't thinking it was like an inflatable pillow. Is that more comfortable? It doesn't sound very comfortable, but maybe the material is better make than I'm imagining in my head. Oops. I did the thing that all the speedrunners skip, because this cutscene makes you take more time to finish the fight. Yeah, they do. One of my grandparents, I think it was my grandpa or my grandma, I can't remember which. It's one of my grandparents. It would have had to be one of the two. I don't know why I said it that way. But my grandparents had one of the cheap ones, and I used to use it for fun when I was a kid. But yeah, I think that was one of the ones that was filled with like little beans or whatever. So that's what I think of, and it was functional, but it was not something I would pay $30 for. So, okay. I mean, if it's a better quality than that, I guess I can get behind that. But that just makes it even worse that they would leave it behind. And I mean, like, you can get pillow, like the airplane has pillows, right? You can just get a pillow as part of the trip. I guess it won't, fit to the contours of your neck, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking this. Maybe money just isn't as important to people who fly frequently. It's only one of the reasons I don't fly. The other is I just hate flying. Not because I'm like afraid or anything. Like I hate the experience. I hate being cramped into the tiny area for a long time. I had to fly back from. Damn, you got all that shit for working at the airport? That's pretty cool, man. What did you do? What was your position, if you don't mind me asking? I'm assuming you weren't a professional like looter or something. Although if you were, I'm impressed, and I would like to know where you went to school for that. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking that if you're the kind of person who would buy a pillow for a plane, that means you probably fly often. And, if you fly often, then yeah, money is, you're either rich, or you're getting cheap seats. But yeah, what was your job? So freaking annoying. Oh, I see. Okay. I mean, honestly, that sounds that kind of sounds like one of the best things to be doing at an airport. You know, not having to deal with any of the dangers of working on a plane. You know, which, however rare, do happen. You know, mechanical failures and whatnot. Then you don't have to, like, you know, travel around and, you know, deal with all that shit. Like, you just get to go to your store and do your thing. That sounds great. But there was a time when I'd went to my sister was living in Japan for about a year, so I went to go visit her. And on my way back, I had to go from Japan to Beijing, and that plane, the seat I was sitting in for that relatively short flight, I think it was only a couple of hours. That seat did not lock in place, so I couldn't put my seat upright, and the stewardesses got really mad at me because I couldn't put my seat in the upright position. It wasn't my fault. And I couldn't lean back on it because then I would squish the person behind me. So I just had to, you know, sit up in my seat the entire time. And then I got to Beijing and I waited for my plane that would take me back to California. And then that plane had the exact same problem. So I had to spend the 13-hour flight or whatever, just, you know, holding myself upward. It was the worst flight of my life. So yeah, I fucking hate going on planes because of shit like that. Oh, you gotta schmooze the people? Do people actually expect that from you? Because, I mean, again, limited experience and anecdotal experience at that, but when I go to a store in an airport, like, I'm just there to pick up my shit and leave. I don't want to chat, but maybe I'm just an asshole. In fact, I think there's more proof than not that I'm probably an asshole. Although on that same trip, my little sister and my little sister was traveling with me, and we were killing time by going to like a high-end store in the Beijing airport. Looked like they just sold like business gifts, like those expensive like candy boxes and stuff. And then like the woman behind the counter took one look at the two Mexicans who walked into her store, and she yelled, you know, in the back room, and these two like huge like security dudes came out, one for my sister, one for me, and they just followed us around the entire time we were there. Like, that wasn't cool. I did not appreciate that. Okay, so yeah, those people are like in the situation that I was in, but I didn't look to the racist ass you know, store employees for entertainment. I just had my own fun, which was mostly sitting down and waiting for my plane. Till I remembered that I had bought a voltage converter, and I was able to hook up my laptop and put on The Simpsons, and I watched The Simpsons with my sister until our plane finally arrived. So that wasn't so bad. It was like the longest I'd ever be able to get her to sit down and watch The Simpsons with me. So that was a nice perk. Sprinting thing by default. And the Game Boy port did. Did not. Well, that's a bummer. I'll pay the Sprint Shoes tax then. There we go. Oh. Oh, okay. It's a little toggle. That's weird. The original line here in the Ted Woolsey translation was he'd slit his mama's throat for a nickel. Very fond of that line. I'm sad it's not here anymore. Oh, that's cool, dude. That's like something out of like a feel-good like family comedy or something. You're just finding a public piano and getting to play on it to pass the time. Also, the idea of a public piano is just kind of a funny thing that, had you not told me that, I would have thought it was a thing that, like, only, you know, exists in the movies. I don't think I've ever seen a public piano in my life. So that's, that's pretty cool, man. Sometimes I wish I had learned the piano so I could be that guy and do stuff like that. Unfortunately, I learned to play the saxophone when I was a kid, and that's it's a cool instrument, but it's not the kind of thing you can just casually bust out, you know, in public. Like, oh yeah, I play a little saxophone. Like, you can't do that. There have been 0 times when I have run across a public saxophone in public. And even if I had, I mean, you gotta put your mouth in that thing, so that's probably a good thing. Oh man, that sounds awesome. Check YouTube channels for like public piano shenanigans. Is that is that what I would be searching for? Wait, no, it's in the other room. Get out of there. I've expressed this to Evan in the past, but one of the things I friggin' hate about old school RPGs is enemy NPCs who can like inadvertently block you from going somewhere, just like that. It drives me nuts. There it is. There it is. There it is. Hermes sandals on him. Let's put Backverse there. Let's put the Sprint shoes on Terra. Alright then, I will do that. I will look for public piano shenanigans. That is going to be the exact search phrase I use. And I'm going to be disappointed if I don't find something. I'll do everything else here, just to save the point. At the weapon shop, and we'll be back on our way. Janitor plays piano. Is that a prank? I'm not sure what the joke there is. Well, Fallout for sure. I mean, Deus Ex you could. I mean, Deus Ex you have like real-time movement. So I mean, I would imagine you could finagle your way around people if they were driving you nuts. And I mean, like worst case scenario, you can just murder them, right? You probably don't want to because I would that would negatively affect your karma, but that's an option. But yeah, I can't stand it when stuff like that happens where you're just trying to go through a doorway and some asshole, randomly moves in there and won't leave. I think in Chrono Trigger you could actually push people. I don't remember if it actually works, but I remember there's a pushing animation that'll trigger when you run up against them. So, God, okay, they make the return to title screen button the default, and it's driving me nuts. Oops. I did not want that to be Bioblaster. I'm not sure which ones are the worst, but I know like the whole like SNES library was like lousy with that kind of problem. Even like on the Genesis, I remember playing Phantasy Star 4 and Shining Force a lot, and that was still an issue because those fuckers just love to walk around. Alright, yeah, this is the point where I have to actually start having people participate in fights. I haven't actually... I've been intentionally not looking at anything for 7 Remake, because I want to be pleasantly surprised, but I'm happy to hear that... I'm happy to hear that they seem to be doing a good job, at least visually, with it. That's cool. The game itself is pretty garbage, but Pharmacy Record Keeper kind of did the opposite thing, where they reimagined a lot. They reimagined modern Final Fantasy enemies in the classic art style. Everything is pretty much styled after like the 4, 5, 6 era. I think mostly 6. So I always thought that was cool to see. Seeing people from like 7, seeing enemies from 7, like the Guard Scorpion and whatnot, reinterpreted in the like pixel art style. I am cautiously excited about the 7 remake. 2. Cautiously. I suppose I should have more faith in them. I was not enthused at all about 15. And just because I don't know, Square had lost me on Final Fantasy back with like 12. 12 and 13, and 13-2 and 13-3. Because why the fuck did you have 3 13 games? All those just oh you have no faith in the remake. I thought you were showing me a little positivity there. I mean, I'm still of the opinion that you didn't need that the remake didn't need to be made. And I don't know. Maybe I'm just jelly because you know 7 has continued to get support long after it stopped being. I guess I shouldn't say stop being relevant because 7 is clearly still relevant by the fact that we've all pre-ordered the remake. It's not going to be a 3-part disc 1, 2, 3. Are you talking about are you talking about how it's coming out in like multiple like downloadable parts or whatever? That like Telltale sort of episodic thing they're doing? I'd actually forgotten that was a thing until just this second. Is that still happening? I like I said, I haven't been keeping up on what's going on with the remake. Also, I did not know that they were. I don't think I knew that they were adding stuff from the expanded universe. Although now that I say that out loud, I think Evan might have mentioned that to me during one of our videos or streams or whatever. But yeah, I feel like I made a joke about Gact being in Final Fantasy VII, which I guess isn't really a joke. It's the sad reality of our existence. But I would rather I would rather his character not be in the game proper. Oh. What a weird, terrifying animation for Poison. Yeah, I'm not really a fan of the idea of making 7 like a multi-part release. I mean, I know the defense to that from fans is going to be like, well, if we had to wait for them to complete the game, then it would take longer for us to get the release. And it's like, yeah, that's a good thing. Games should not come out until they're complete, right? I mean, that's how it used to work. We didn't get like Warcraft, like the first half of StarCraft with the second half like patched in later for full price. I don't know. Maybe if I was as enthusiastic about 7 as like other people, it wouldn't be a problem for me. Maybe I'm just butthurt. But I mean, 6 is objectively the best Final Fantasy because of reasons. So it should have gotten a remake, like a good remake, not this one. There's actually a pretty solid GBA remake of this game, but the new content was bugged, so it was like pretty superfluous. Then again, Square might have learned their lesson about letting games, idle too long with 12, because as I understand, I believe 12 went through something like 3 different directors. Because like Matsuno was driven insane from working on the project, and he ended up like resigning, I think, from the company. And then I think Kitase stepped in, and I forgot who actually finished the project, but. Maybe that's why they've just decided to, release things as soon as it's financially viable. Which in the case of 7, given how crazy people are about 7, financially viable would have been like once they programmed the title screen. Not making it function, just, well, we have a title screen that works, so let's release that. They probably could have done that and made some easy cash. But yeah, I still haven't even played the demo. And I guess at this point I probably won't. I mean, we have like, what, less than a month before it comes out? That is that a thing with Castlevania? I've never heard. I always call that Final Fantasy syndrome, and I think Evan also calls it that because that's the only thing I've ever seen it in regards to. But yeah, that's totally a thing. With Mortal Kombat 2. I think I'm mostly just amused by the idea that Mortal Kombat is still relevant, like, to any degree. Even though clearly people still play it, you know, they're on like Mortal Kombat like 9 or whatever. But it's just funny to me. But yeah, Final Fantasy definitely. I have a lot of friends who started with 7 and they have never they've never had the desire to play anything that came before 7. And I'm like, why have you not played 6 at least? Like, why did you find this beloved series and decide you really liked it and decide you had no desire to go see what came before? And I just get like non-committal answers at best, at worst like, well, how could anything else be better than 7? It's not about being better, it's just about experiencing, you know, the entirety of the franchise that you claim to love so much. I haven't played 2, and 2 is literal garbage. 2 is probably like one of the worst RPGs ever made. But I'm sure those people at some point had to deal with the guys who, you know, got their start with 10 and were insisting like, well, 10 is amazing because it's the first game I played, and so, you know, clearly there's no point in me playing the bullshit 6. What the fuck? Oh, okay. They give me like the little Street Fighter joystick thing when he does his blitz. That's funny. Back forward. That used to be called Pummel. 1, 2... Wait, you skipped 4, 5, and 6? Why did you skip the best ones, man? That hurts me. I'm physically wounded. I think I'm bleeding now. I do like 1 a lot. 1 is good. 1 is still good, actually. It also helps that you can play original flavor 1, or you can play, like, you know, the easier mode versions they've come out with for newer players, which I appreciate, because 1 does have 1 was, you know, first game, and it has a lot of bullshit, like, fake difficulty because of it. But yeah, 2 is terrible. 3 is when the series starts getting, like, legitimately good. And then, like, you gotta play 4, man. 4 is the first game that has a real story. And it's just... Oh, I see. Okay. I mean, you can't... You can play it now, though. I think you can emulate 4, too. Why don't you emulate 4? Go emulate 4 right now. Ah, shit. Alright, well... I can't fault you on that, because I like Wild Arms, too. But you've got to play 4, otherwise there's gonna come a day... I'm not even in the front row this time? Otherwise there's gonna come a day when I'm just gonna have to play 4 on the channel. You know, even though nobody's gonna give a shit, because I need you to experience 4 in some capacity. Wild Arms is legit, though. I adore Wild Arms. I played that so much as a kid. I never got to play the remake of 1. The Wild Arms, what were the arbitrary letters they tacked onto it? XF, AF, whatever. Recoded? I think it's something else. They remade it for the PS2. And it was like using the Wild Arms 3 engine. And it was pretty neat. I played a little bit of it. I never owned it, though. By the time I wanted a legit copy, they were like $1 million, and I couldn't pay that much for a fucking PS2 game. probably better by now. It's probably better by now. But I tried emulating it once, and at the time PS2 emulators couldn't handle, I don't know, something about that particular game. You know, I like 9 a lot. God damn it! I hate. That drives me fucking nuts. Why is that an option? Who saves a game with the intention of immediately, like, quitting? Like, not... I mean, obviously you're going to at some point, but making that the default is stupid. But yeah, 9 is great. I like 9, and then people convinced me that 9 was bad, and so I thought 9 was bad. But then I played it again as an adult, and I ended up really liking it. And it is one of my favorites. It's definitely like one of the best. Partially because Beatrix is arguably like the best waifu in the entire franchise, and I will fight anybody who says otherwise. But also, like, it's just a good game. It's got great characters. It's got a great story. The PlayStation port, admittedly, the original PlayStation version, admittedly, does not hold up because of the god-awful load times. But, I mean, now we have the fantastic mobile and Steam ports. Well, the thing is, there's a quick save, and the quick save presumably lets you, you know, just... I think it's one of those quick saves where you just like immediately end the game. Like, I don't think you can quick save to keep on playing. So that's what that's there for. I don't know why the regular save also has the gotta get out of the game button. It's stupid. Yeah, see, quick save has it too. So why? It's dumb. This is a dumb port. I mean, it's not actually that bad mechanically. There's just little things like that bug me. Incidentally, there's this piece of paper right here, and if I leave it there, then in a later scene, people will get mad that somebody's just leaving fucking papers lying around. Just a weird touch. I like that. I've actually had the urge to go back and replay Wild Arms 5 lately, because that's the game I've only played once, and I remember liking it, but I don't. I feel like I didn't give it. I feel like I didn't like it as much as I could have. But I don't know. Just got an urge to play it. You know, the thing that bugged me about 7, and it's not a legitimate criticism, but the 7 ending bugged me because they didn't make any alternate cutscenes for Vincent and Yuffie, so they just, you know, vanish out of the face of the earth, which is especially weird for me because I had both of them in my final party when I was you know, playing the game for the first time. Not going to quit to the title screen. Suck it. And then also, yeah, that I remember being kind of confused by that ending back in the day, because there's the characters like summon Holy, and then like you can't really tell if it's going to be able to beat out the meteor, and then it just kind of cuts to some undisclosed point in the future. Alright, I gotta talk to 7. It just cuts like an undisclosed point in the future where you know, little baby Red 13s are trolling around, and you know, you see Midgard all like overgrown with like weeds and shit. Didn't they reuse that scene in like Advent Children or something? Right? I think they show that, and then like they just cut back to the present day, and that's how you know that that's a thing that happens way the fuck in the future, but not to any extent that'll ever be relevant. I remember being annoyed by that. You have to keep saying no to banning here. because if you say yes, you make him happy, and he gives you a crappy accessory. But if you say no and you disappoint him, you end up getting a good accessory, the best accessory. Relic, sorry. 6 is the one and only game that is ever called accessories relics. That was your interpretation of the ending? I mean, that's cool and valid. I think I just assumed. I'm pretty sure I assumed that it was just a cut to the future, because you didn't see anyone else like Red 13, you know, when you go to visit him at his hippie pad. So it just seemed like if there were more kiddies like him around, then it had to be in the future. So that didn't necessarily mean that your party died. You know, it just meant that Midgard at least is abandoned. And that's probably a good thing, given that Midgard is like, you know, the epitome of like corporate excess in that world. I don't think... Yeah, I never beat Persona 2. That came out during a time... Whoa. Not yet. Let me fix the party. As I recall, that came out during a time when there were just... The PlayStation just had too many good RPGs. And I had to make a choice at some point, because my parents weren't gonna buy me every single amazing RPG on the PlayStation. And so I eventually just had to make the choice. And that was not the one I picked. But I played like Wild Arms and the original Persona and Star Ocean 2 and a lot of good stuff. Suikoden was my fave. That was the best. Well, not Suikoden itself. Suikoden 2. That was the best. That is my favorite RPG, I think. Okay, yeah, it's a valid interpretation of the ending. Let's see, I think we go left. Oh, they took out the easy blitz input. That's annoying. I guess now that you can use an analog stick to input the button commands, they don't really need the simple inputs. But yeah, also and Lunar, Silver Star Story, and Eternal Blue, the complete version of both those. Those are also really good. The original Vandal Hearts, not the second one. That was garbage. Vanguard Bandits, it's a great one, even though the dubbing is fucking horrible. There are too many good RPGs for the PlayStation. I think PlayStation is probably like the golden age. People argue if it's the PlayStation or the Super. I really think it's the PlayStation. SNES actually does have a lot of really good RPGs, but too many of the ones that I really like right now were Japan exclusive, so, you know, I don't really count those. Man, the endings for Twisted Metal, like both games, are my favorite parts of those games. I love seeing how Calypso just dicks people over. That was like my primary motivation for playing the games. Because at first it was like, oh cool, it's kind of like, you know, a racing game, but you're blowing people up instead of like actually racing them. Oh right, there's a second save point. But yeah, after a while, the novelty of, you know, having a poorly controlled car, you know, try to blow up other poorly controlled cars, you know, wore off. But I really really loved all those endings, especially 2, because 2 is when they got really silly with it. There's like the ending for Hammerhead, I think, the monster truck. It's like the two douchebags who drive it wish they could fly, and Calypso's like, all right, you can fly now. And they both go, like, jump off the building that they're on. And Calypso's like, oh, shit. And he pulls out, like, some airplane tickets he got them. Like, well, they were stupid. Like, I love that kind of shit. Now to beat up a Final Fantasy icon. I actually tried playing Twisted Metal Black, I think, whatever the more recent one was, because that went... I never played it for a long time, but it eventually became free on PlayStation Plus or something, and I just couldn't get into it. It didn't have that that comedy. What was Spectre's ending? I think I remember that being... I think I remember that one being good, but I can't remember. I can't remember what it was specifically. There was also Mr. Slam, the bulldozer. He wishes to have like the biggest skyscraper like in the world or something, and then he gets it, but then he just like falls off because he's an idiot or some crap like that. There were some really good ones. And there was Grasshopper's ending, and she not only turned out to be Calypso's daughter, but she turned out to be like a robot, like built to look like his daughter, and she was just supposed to win the tournament so she could explode and like kill him. That was pretty good too. Right. 2013. Oh, yeah. They just called it Twisted Metal. Okay, I remember now. Wow, really? Wow, I don't remember that one at all. How do I not remember that one? Oh, actually, there was, Roadkill's ending, too, I think. The hobo with the junkie car. Because he, like, wakes up in a hospital room and it's, like, filled with all the other racers who are, like, in a coma or something, and implying that the whole thing was a dream, except maybe it's not or something. Yeah, Twisted Metal 2 was cool. I like that a lot. Yeah, you're right. 2013 was the latest one, and I did not care for that at all. It didn't have the comedy. It put way too much focus on Sweet Tooth, from what I remember, which I never liked Sweet Tooth. Like he was apparently really popular because he got like all the marketing and shit, but I don't know, something he just never jived with me. I never thought he was cool. Oops. Got my Ninja Bro. I don't know who made the decision to have a mouth harp be part of the Ninjas theme song, but I applaud it. Now we go back inside so we can get this guy to show back up. Buy yourself some shuriken. They really take the ability to buy stacks of 10 out? Why? Why would you do that? Oh, well, mobile. That's why. Yeah, I'm just gonna 99. This was a good decision to do for the mobile gamers. I mean, he was still a serial killer in 1 and 2, and I mean, I didn't know this at the time, but I've seen like retrospectives on the series, and apparently they really went hard with the marketing, using their serial killer clown like as the mascot. I'm glad I don't remember those, because I think my mom probably would have freaked the fuck out if she had known that was the marketing strategy they were using. Can I not manually move my items around? Why? Why would they? Alright, fine. But it was less of a thing. I think it was more of an informed thing in those games. Probably part of the benefits of not having, you know, cutscenes back in 1 and 2. But yeah, in 2013, they really like went all out with the serial killer thing, and that I didn't like that. Just I don't know, didn't jive with me. And I believe my friend was the one who played Black, and he was telling me about it. And I guess that's a big focus of his character in Black too. But Black, I mean, was like darker and edgier, like all around. So that's not surprising. I remember really liking Vigilante, or I didn't actually like it, but I really wanted to like Vigilante 8, which was the competing game that came out. It was just like Twisted Metal, but not good. I could never really figure out why I didn't like it. Just something about it just didn't jive with me, which is a shame because I mean I look back and it seems pretty cool, but I just remember it didn't play as well. Black cool? I never, like I said, I never played it, and I just had no interest in playing it. Oh, Head On is like the mobile one, right? I mean, not mobile in the same way we use the word now, but I mean it was the handheld one, I think, right? Or no, I'm thinking of I can't remember the name. I'm thinking of the one where they're all like toy cars being controlled by kids or something. I can't remember what that was called. But Black just didn't interest me because it didn't have the humor. I mean, that was pretty readily apparent, you know, from the get-go, but then my friend started telling me like all the story stuff, and I just went, yeah, this is not, this is not my Twisted Metal. Gonna go back to trying to win the stupid Chocobo race in Final Fantasy X with in 0 seconds because that's what you had to do, and I never managed to do it. So clearly that was time well spent. Small Brawl. Thank you. Yes, that's the one. I never played it because I didn't have whatever handheld system it came out on. But I really liked that concept. I just thought that was very, very... that was a cute idea. You know, it's funny, I can't actually remember the Twisted Metal soundtracks at all. And I played those games so much as a kid. So that's why it's very that's why it's really weird. I've heard people praise the soundtracks though. So I believe that. Let's see. I think you hit it. There you go, yeah. If you hit it, you arbitrarily hide in the box, and you don't get caught. If you kick it, then you don't hide in the box, and the soldier finds you and you fight him. Really? Small Brawl was PS1? Huh. Okay. I could have sworn that Small Brawl was on a handheld, but I mean, I trust you. I don't think I know what Rogue Trip is. What is that? Is that another Twisted Metal-like? God, General Leo's sprite looks fucking horrible. He's so baby-faced. It's creepy. I remember I had a birthday party once, and I had friends over, and we went to Blockbuster and we rented a few games. You know, we wanted multiplayer stuff, and I'm pretty sure I was the one who said we should rent Vigilante 8 because, you know, it was like Twisted Metal. So, and we all love Twisted Metal, and the game went almost completely unplayed that whole night because we played a little bit of it, and we were just so completely disinterested in what it had to offer. As I recall, we played Rampage, not even the original arcade port, or I should say the remade arcade port that they put on the PlayStation. We played the sequel, Rampage 2, Rampage World Tour, whatever the hell it was called. It was, and I mean that game is garbage. In hindsight. Then I think we also rented Simpsons Wrestling at that party, and that game is also dumb. So I guess we just had shitty taste. Oh really? Same devs? Wow. I've never ever heard of this. I'm gonna look into that, because that sounds cool. And then, in the original version, he says, oh, they kept it in. Do I look like a waiter? I love that. I thought I was gonna get used to the weird quirks of this game, this port of the game, and I have not. The visuals and the combat menu still offend me greatly. I need to go... Oh, I don't know what to shoot. I have shoes on. I was supposed to talk to Mog and get him to unequip my other guys. Well, that sucks. But yeah, you go over here, and you jump off, and you get the little hidden chest. Yeah, I was always disappointed that the car combat genre, kind of died at the PlayStation, more or less. But I suppose in hindsight, there wasn't a whole lot more I could go, more places I could go. Why does Rogue Trip have a bad translation if it's made by the Twisted Metal devs? I mean, they were an American-based company, right? That's what I recall, anyway. Although I can certainly understand enjoying a game in spite of its faults, in spite of bad translation. Final Fantasy Tactics is widely regarded as having a terrible, terrible translation, but I adore it. I like it better than the freaking remake, which is made by someone who knew that Shakespeare existed and decided that was good enough to let him, that knowledge was good enough to let him write a whole script in like Elizabethan English, and it was not. It's a really bad script. Yeah, right? Now that we have Battle Royale, you know, as such a prominent genre, you know, you think it actually... Yeah, I never thought about it, but yeah, it makes perfect sense to expand, you know, in that way. I think the last car combat game I could think of is, there was like a Star Wars one, I think, for the PS2? It was like it came out, I think, it came out around the same time as, Phantom Menace. And that one I remember being pretty bad. Okay, I see. You're talking about I. Okay, yeah, okay. I know of I have seen it multiple times on sale on Steam, and it's always going on sale for, like, literally pennies. And I'm always like, is this the time I'm going to buy it? And it's always not the time. Yeah, I saw the thing about Library of Ruina getting delayed. That's a bummer. I've never played any of the Stalker games. I've always wanted to, but I've always been intimidated because everything I read paints them as just being like really hard to, like really demanding to get into, and I just don't have the time in my life anymore to commit to games like that, unfortunately. Like during college, I would be all over that shit. I spent one semester, not a semester, but I spent a chunk of a semester playing Mother. I have too many games, Botan. That's why I'm spending my Saturday night playing ugly Final Fantasy VI. Because I have too many other games to play. Maybe when Steam finally gives up and just makes it free. There's a 4 for $1. I think I would lose friends if I was giving out copies of I. That sounds more like one of those like chain letter things. Like you've just been given a 4-pack of I. You need to you need to give these games to 3 other people or you'll be cursed forever. Yeah, I have too, like, I just bought Doom Eternal, even though I have, like, so many things to play, and if I would just play those other things, then, you know, by the time I get around to playing Doom Eternal, it would be cheap. But I still bought it, because I'm stupid. But I did not buy Animal Crossing. I mean, I'm gonna be tempted to, but I have not bought Animal Crossing yet. Even though I have a $20 gift card for the Nintendo eShop sitting right here on my desk, because that was my birthday present for my sister. I'm going to be strong, and I'm going to not buy that. The fact that I have never heard of Bad Rats leads me to believe that you've probably done a terrible thing by giving it to your friends. What is Bad Rats? That sounds like a that sounds like a Super Nintendo era game or something. That sounds like a shitty Double Dragon knockoff. Or like a shitty like Battletoads knockoff. Or maybe a shitty Battletoads and Double Dragon knockoff, because that was a thing. And I love that game. Oh wait, now I gotta go... Right. I gotta go up here. Yep, there you go. You want them to, like, Stone of Jordan those games? I'm gonna take a second and look up what Bad Rats actually is, because now I'm curious. Oh god, it's 99 cents. Wow, this looks awful. Why would you do this? Why would you give people this game? Oops, I'm trying to find my fucking Windows right. There we go. Oh, it's a German puzzle game. You know, it does have that same, like, quality to it that, like, those European, like, cheap-ass Pixar knockoffs have. Like the Video Brincato, I think is the name. It's like a Spanish company or something. It looks like something that... It looks like something they make. So, Jesus Christ. I mean, at least I looks serviceable. Like, it looks like a functional FPS game. Like, if you showed me screenshots of I without showing me that it was like a 99-cent game, I would probably try it on principle. But seeing that janky-ass looking puzzle game, like, there's no way. I would never give it a shot. I would never give it a chance. It doesn't deserve it. It needs to burn. To Bad Rats? Really? Holy shit. Oh, I was gonna ask you about that. Yeah, I saw Bad Rats Show. I think Bad Rats Show is actually cheaper. No, it's more expensive. It is $1 more expensive. And goddamn. But yeah, I saw something similar happen with the Garfield kart racing games. That's been like a meme forever, and people keep buying it because of the meme, and then, like, I guess now they've made at least one sequel. Yeah, I mean, I sounded neat. I remember looking at it and reading the description, and it was like a cyberpunk, like, future thing, and I thought, oh, this sounds neat. Why is it, like 32 cents? And then I'd go and look at the actual reviews, and the reviews are all fucking horrible. Including reviews who are like, I'm aware that this is currently like a 32-cent game, and believe me when I say that this is not worth 32 cents. Like, that's when you know a game is probably bad. When people aren't even willing to buy it on, like, the 99% discount. I love the Magic Armor so much. It's such a cool idea. No Final Fantasy's ever used it again. Except for 14, but that's not a real Final Fantasy. hate this, this menu. What do you mean by stiff? Are you not mobile or something? Do you not dodge well? Oh, is I a Half-Life 2 mod? You know, Evan always gets mad at me when I remind him about this, but I've never played Half-Life 2 to completion. I had actually never played Half-Life 2 at all until I finally got it on like insanely deep like Steam discount. And I played like, I think like an hour of it, and I really enjoyed it, and I just never went back and played more of it for some reason. Oh, okay, you're fast. You said if you invest in legs, so does that mean is it like a Deus Ex kind of thing? Do you have like cybernetic like enhancements or something? Everything can be back to something? You're talking about controls, right? You gotta love these old school games and their encounter rates. I always forget what... Third one? Right. I get annoyed with games that are full tutorials. I wanted to play through Pokemon Sword for a second time now that the Pokemon Home lets me transfer in stuff from older games, but goddamn, that game holds your hand to a really ridiculous degree, and the tutorials like never show the fuck up. So you want to play it when you're like so fast you're like uncontrollable? That seems kind of... Oh, I see. Okay, I get it. Alright, just for you, buddy. I have put I on my wish list, so the next time it goes on sale, I will buy it. I'd buy it now just to get it out of the way, but it's like $9 right now, and that's way too much to spend on a jank game. Steam put so many games on sale for the stay at home and don't leave sale. You'd think they would have they couldn't be bothered to put the game that nobody gives a shit about on sale. That's sad. You talking about I makes you want to play the original Deus Ex again, but that game is not kind to newer systems. Even on like GOG, because they do their shit in DOSBox, so it usually does a pretty good job of emulating you know, the clock speed and whatnot. But I remember trying it once and it just didn't agree with me. Like it controlled super janky, and maybe that's just how it is. Maybe I just don't remember the jank, because when I was a kid, like anything that was in 3D, you know, seemed amazing. Like fucking, I still remember being wowed by Wolfenstein of all things. But yeah, I would like. I should play that again someday. Hooray! This is the best character in the entire Final Fantasy series. Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Are you talking about OG Pathologic or the new one? You know, I actually have the new Pathologic. I tried playing. Oops, I don't do this shit. I tried playing it on our channel once, and it was fun, and I never played it again. So there, I was thinking about picking it up again because of you know the pandemic, but I was worried it might seem insensitive. Today, actually, before we got the shelter order put out, I was gonna play Plague Inc. For the channel. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow I'll stream Plague Inc. Yeah, the new one's cool. I like the new one a lot. It's another one where like I feel like I would have to sit down and really learn it, but it definitely looks fun. I enjoyed what I had played. Go. I didn't even want to fight your stupid battles. Leveling up is bad in this game. Because you don't get stats from leveling up, aside from health and MP. I want to save that if possible. So much harder to get off the aura bolts when you're using the pad for the analog. The safety method doesn't work anymore. So why sign in the front row? Nobody in this game should ever be in the front row. There's that thing I was talking about. Oh, I wasn't even supposed to go in here. And both of you were blocking my way. Get out of my way! Get out of my way! Yeah, I haven't. I don't really watch other people's streams, but I would assume stuff like Plague Inc. and Pathologic and whatnot are being played right now, because of the subject matter being something we can all identify with. Maybe Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil also, not Resident Evil 2 specifically, but probably Resident Evil 2. It loses a bit of its impact when you yourself are a ghost being surrounded by other ghosts. Yes, this is the part. Once you complete this dungeon, which is pretty short, you gotta fight the train, and yeah, because of a weird bug in the original game, which did not properly register the Doom Train as a thing that cannot be suplexed, you can suplex the Doom Train. I'm not sure if that bug is still in this game. We'll see. I'm obviously gonna try it. A long time to run from that. Yeah, I do like the ghost walking animation. He's got that little dangly tail and it just wobbles back and forth. It's very cute. Yeah, Doom Train, but Doom Train is one of my favorite Final Fantasy beings, I should say, I guess, of all time. And I was so the one good part about 8 was that they made Doom Train an actual summon in Esper. GF. They changed the stupid name in every single game, and it took me a second to remember what the name for it was. Guardian Force. So that was cool. Oh, that's weird. They changed the button input completely. So diagonal right, diagonal up, down, up. That's so weird. This is the other meme. The ghost food. Gobble. Snarf. Slurp. And that's it. Oops. Gotta get that earring and put it on Sabin. Because for some reason, Sabin's best martial arts moves all scale off his magic stat. So you actually want to build him as a mage and not as a fighter, which is completely unintuitive for a game of this era. I like that Siegfried uses the word spitted. I don't think that's an actual word. And Shadow dodges. takes the thing anyway, and we let him. Just a funny little thing that happens. That's the move. In what way is it like SMP? I'm just curious what you're referring to specifically. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. I can't remember the last time a bomb survived long enough to explode on me in this train. What a rare occurrence. And I think I can just insta-kill this guy. Yep. Here you ghost. He's gonna leave right now anyway, so no point in keeping him around. Had to throw in the one last fight. So we flip the left switch, and we flip the right switch, and then we go outside, and we flip the hidden switch on the outside of the train. And the Doom train gets mad, and we fight him. And I forgot to change everyone's positions, but that's fine. He's not that hard to beat. Hey, it still works. Awesome. Oh, I love that. They kept that in. That had to be on purpose. No, unfortunately, no. Final Fantasy VI is one of the only Final Fantasy games in the entire franchise where there are guest characters. Yeah, the Ghost is one of them. If I hadn't made him use his possession move at that point, then he would have left my party like a few steps later, because he can't leave the train. He doesn't even participate in this boss fight, which is a shame, because yeah, I do like Ghost, even though he's probably like one of the worst party members in the game. There is nothing to him. He can't even equip weapons. There's nothing to him aside from his possession ability, which is the same effect as insta death, but it doesn't. But it kills him in the process. It removes him from your party completely. So he's really just here as a filler character, and you don't even need him, because my first time through when I played this game as a kid, I didn't even know you could go over and pick him up. Completely superfluous. 6 isn't that hard of a game to begin with, though, so I guess that's why. Maybe they were erring on the side of caution. If you don't pick up Shadow, or if Shadow leaves, because there's a chance that Shadow can leave your party at any point during this segment, more or less. Well, he can leave anytime before and after the Imperial camp. He can't leave during the Imperial camp. He can't leave while you're on the train, but any other time it's free to him. So if you don't have Shadow for whatever reason, either that you didn't pick him up or that he left you behind, then you can get 2 ghosts. And 2 ghosts are adorable, but I mean, Shadow's better. And I think Cyan technically kills Sabin right there, but he's fine the next scene, so no worries. I'm really, really happy that the that they let you suplex the train. That's amazing. There are so many little things about this game, about this port mechanically that I really like, but then there's weird shit like the visual aspect of it, and that's just terrible. Alright, I gotta go talk to Cyan, because the turnstile won't let me out. Alright. I think I'm done for the night, Bowden. Thank you very much for keeping me company. I appreciate it. Because it would have been a terrible thing if I had just been talking to myself for 2 hours. So, yeah, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate you coming hang with me. I might stream something tomorrow. I'm not sure. We'll see. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna call it night, man. I'll see you next time.